In this video, we're going to be looking at average cost curves. Okay, so if you've watched the other video I've made, you'll know that the average cost is also known as the cost per unit. Okay, and you can calculate this by doing total costs divided by quantity. Okay, you'll also know that average costs are made up of fixed and variable costs. Okay, just like every other cost. So average costs also include fixed and variable costs, and it's only applicable in the short run, okay, that we have fixed costs. In the long run, we have only variable costs. So if we look at this diagram here, we have the average total cost curve, and the average total cost is made up of average fixed costs and average variable costs. So there's your average fixed cost here, which is an L-shaped curve, and average variable cost. These two curves added together makes the ATC, the average total cost curve. Okay, so basically the ATC curve is always the highest. Okay, that always has to be the highest curve on the diagram that you draw. Okay, you might be wondering, why is the average fixed cost curve, why is it an L shape? Okay, and the reason is because average fixed cost is fixed cost divided by quantity. Remember, fixed costs do not change. Okay, so this always stays constant while the quantity goes up. So if you keep dividing by a higher number, the average fixed cost will go down. So here's an example for you to see. So imagine our business has £5,000 a month fixed costs. If we produce 10 units, our average fixed cost will be 500, because 5,000 divided by 10 is 500. If we produce 20 units next month, our average fixed cost is 250, 5,000 divided by 20. So the more units you produce, the more it goes down. And that's what explains this curve here being an L shape. Okay, so it actually happens that some businesses with very high proportion of fixed costs relative to variable costs will actually have an L-shaped ATC curve as well. Okay, so in some businesses, this ATC curve might not be a U shape. It might actually be an L shape. Okay, now the businesses that I'm talking about specifically are natural monopolies, okay, which we'll talk about in another video. But natural monopolies are basically very large firms that have very, very high fixed costs, and their average total cost curves start to look like an L shape, just like this curve here. Okay, so anyway, I hope that makes sense. Any questions, just leave them in the comment section below.